nature of attraction. How women test the men they find alpha. Women test men they perceive as attractive and alpha. This isn't shallow, it's deeply biological, a subconscious process hardwired into human nature that plays out silently, often without either person even realizing it. When a woman encounters a man who is confident, assertive, and self-possessed, it activates something primal in her psychology. This isn't about his looks or status alone. It's about how he moves, how he speaks, and most importantly, how he responds to pressure. That internal trigger is called hypergamy, a deep evolutionary instinct that drives women to seek men of higher value, strength, and dominance. Men who challenge them, men who don't bend easily, men who can hold firm under emotional weight. Assertive men, those who aren't afraid to say no, who keep strong boundaries and who don't fear disagreement, unleash this hidden force within a woman. These men don't just comply. They create tension, a kind of magnetic friction that draws women in. And that tension is the spark of attraction. The hypergamy test, the silent room in her mind. Imagine this. A woman meets a man. His name is Sebastian. He's confident, grounded, and carries himself with quiet strength. She feels it immediately. Not just attraction, but curiosity, an unspoken pull. But she doesn't fully trust that feeling yet. In her subconscious, she steps into what we might call the confirmation room. This is where the testing begins. She observes, she pushes, she breaks small boundaries, not out of malice, but instinct. She wants to see how Sebastian responds. Does he stand firm? Does he remain calm and composed when challenged? Or does he shift, fold, and bend just to maintain harmony? If he bends too easily, a signal goes off in her mind. He's not as strong as he seemed. But if he holds his ground, the attraction deepens. Her subconscious starts to trust him. Because now she's not just reacting to his outer qualities, she's beginning to sense real inner strength. Why disagreement builds attraction? It sounds counterintuitive, but here's the truth. The more a man disagrees with a woman, respectfully but firmly, the more attracted she often becomes. Not because he's trying to create conflict, but because he's showing her something most men won't. A man who will not betray himself to win her approval. Every time Sebastian says, "No, I see it differently," or "That's not what I want," he sends a subconscious signal. I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to be real. This is what builds tension. And that tension activates something ancient, something instinctual in the feminine psyche. But with that rising attraction comes something else. More testing. Because now the stakes feel higher. She pushes harder. She plays with emotional boundaries. She gets curious. How far can she go before he shifts? This isn't manipulation. It's evaluation. A deep survival instinct asking, is this man's strength real, or is it just a mask he wears to get what he wants? The trap most men fall into. Now here's where most men collapse. Let's go back to Sebastian and Maria. When they first met, Maria felt drawn to him. He didn't try to impress her. He just was, confident, quietly dominant, grounded. They started dating, and the chemistry was electric. But 3 months in, everything changed. Sebastian softened. He started trying to please her more. He avoided tension. He became overly agreeable. He traded the fire that drew her in for comfort. Maria didn't say anything directly, but inside she felt it. The man she admired began to disappear. Not because he was bad, but because the part of him she trusted, the part that stood firm and made her feel safe, was fading. The subconscious verdict? He failed the test. Not because he changed emotionally, but because he abandoned the core of who he was. And that's what made the attraction die quietly. Partner material versus casual option. Here's what most men don't realize. When a woman senses true masculine consistency, she sees potential, someone she could build a future with. But when she senses weakness, inconsistency, or a man who tries to please instead of lead, her subconscious categorizes him as a temporary option, or nothing at all. Hypergamy isn't just about attraction, it's about evaluation. She's deciding whether you're someone to follow or someone to leave behind. The masculinity that attracts and scares. That assertive, grounded masculinity is exactly what draws women in. But ironically, it's also what makes them react emotionally. A woman may say, "I don't know if this will work. You're too intense. I'm confused by how you make me feel." These aren't rejections. These are signs you've stirred something real inside her, a mix of desire and fear, and she needs to see if your strength is permanent or reactive. Consistency is power. The men who succeed, who truly stand out, are the ones who stay consistent. They don't chase approval. They don't change their tone just to avoid tension. They don't abandon their values to win affection. Even in small moments, when she orders a cocktail and you say, "I'll take a beer," you stay grounded. "I like my choices, even if they're different." That single line carries weight. It says, "I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to show it." She may not react outwardly, but inside, she respects it, because you just passed another test. When she pulls away without explanation, sometimes everything seems to be going well, and then suddenly she pulls back. No warning, no explanation. Most men spiral. What did I do wrong? Here's the truth. She didn't consciously decide to distance herself. Her subconscious did, because she couldn't feel that solid masculine core she was looking for. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real, grounded, and unmoved by the storm. Final thoughts. The hidden game you must understand. Women don't test you to break you. They test you to reveal you, to see if the man standing in front of them is truly grounded or just pretending. And if you pass, if you stay rooted in your values, your confidence, and your truth, you don't just become attractive, you become unforgettable. Thanks for watching. If this gave you clarity on the hidden dynamics of attraction, like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. There's more truth coming your way, deep, unfiltered, and powerful.